In a city drenched in neon, where the digital underground thrived in forgotten spaces, a young hacker named Zayden sat hunched over his monitors. Known only as Zero Tech, the 18-year-old was a ghost in the machine, his fingers dancing across the keyboard. Cascading lines of forbidden code scrolled past his eyes, and his heart pounded with an adrenaline few could ever understand. He wasn't just breaking rules. He was on the verge of shattering reality itself. Zayden was the only one who had ever truly believed the whispers about Operation Monstergate, a myth, a legend, an abandoned government AI experiment rumored to merge digital beings with the physical world. Tonight, he was diving deep into the city's forgotten network tunnels, determined to rewrite its dormant system. He had no idea that with every keystroke, he was cracking a seal that was never meant to be broken. The screen flashed, an encrypted layer no one had ever bypassed. Sweat dripped down his brow as he muttered, "Come on, come on." And then, a sharp ping echoed in the silence. The final lock broke. A file appeared, glowing crimson like a living heartbeat. CHEAT-CODE-XR9.exe. It radiated power, practically begging him to press enter. Every instinct screamed at him to stop, to pull back, but the temptation was too great. He slammed the key. A shockwave of fractal light exploded from the monitors, consuming the room. In that exact instant, the entire city flickered. Street lamps buzzed and died. Phones rebooted, and drones fell from the sky like dead birds. On every smart device, a new symbol appeared, a snarling, glitched beast, its eyes pulsing with corrupted data. Zayden stumbled back as his monitors began to warp and bend, as if something behind the screen was clawing its way out. Then, it happened. The first monster materialized, a shimmering, pixel-skinned wolf with jagged polygonal teeth. Its low growl distorted the air like a broken speaker. It lunged so fast, he barely had time to roll aside, crashing hard into his desk. In a panic, Zayden grabbed a VR gauntlet from the mess and slammed it onto his wrist. He triggered its defensive calibration, projecting a translucent shield just as the wolf pounced again. Sparks flew as digital claws met pure energy. He screamed as the beast vanished in a burst of particles that shot straight through the ceiling, breaking free into the real world. Deep claw marks were now carved into the metal panels above him. He crawled to his laptop, his hands shaking, and watched in horror. The CHEAT-CODE-XR9 interface was multiplying, spreading across every device connected to his hack grid. It was sending monstrous data clusters out into the physical atmosphere, through the city's wireless infrastructure. The horrifying truth hit him like a punch to the gut. The cheat code didn't just summon monsters, it converted data into matter. Every digital creature ever designed inside Monstergate's prototypes would now slip into reality. One by one, outside, the city was screaming. Alarms blared, mingling with gunfire and the shrieks of terrified people. Pixelated ravagers now roamed the streets. 8-legged crawler beasts, glitched serpents made of rotating cubes, floating eyeballs projecting laser reticules. They flickered in and out of existence, interacting with the physical world as if they'd always been there. Zayden dashed outside, his heart in his throat, a colossal polygon dragging dove between skyscrapers, its wings cutting through the air with the sound of a crashing hard drive. Its tail whipped vehicles aside as if they were toys. On the horizon, the sky itself was transforming into a mesh grid dome, where the silhouettes of new creatures were loading into reality like corrupted files. He knew he had caused this. He ran through the back alleys, his destination clear, the workshop of his old friend, Luna. She was a brilliant robotics engineer who despised his illegal hacking, but cared about him enough to tolerate his madness. He burst through her door, breathless, yelling, "The code wasn't a rumor, it's real." She barely had time to react before a glitch menace shattered her window, its scythe-like arms slicing through machinery, leaving pixel trails in its wake. Luna grabbed a heavy plasma wrench and swung at the creature, screaming, "What did you do?" Dodging falling debris, Zayden explained everything. Operation Monstergate was a secret military project from decades ago, designed to create controllable digital monsters for warfare. They used cheat codes instead of DNA. The project was abandoned when the creatures started learning to fast, rewriting their own code to escape containment. The government buried the system, sealed it with scrambled protocols, and erased all records, leaving only whispers in hacker chat rooms. His foolish curiosity had just resurrected a nightmare. Luna, furious but focused, smashed the menace with her wrench. It exploded into a cloud of voxel fragments. If the cheat code opened the gate, she said, her voice steady, "We need a counter code, something to force them back into the digital realm." Zayden's mind raced. Every cheat system has an inverse, a kill switch. They had to get to the central data tower, the only place with enough power to transmit a citywide override signal. They sprinted out into the monster-infested streets. Police fought hordes of monster hybrids at makeshift barricades, digital rhinos, smashing armored trucks, glitch spiders crawling over skyscrapers, pixelated pterodactyls swooping down on civilians. Luna used her custom robotic drones to distract the beasts while Zayden hacked street terminals, rerouting power to create momentary safe pods through the chaos. At one point, a gargantuan centipede made of strapped-together motherboard chips erupted from the ground, its body stretching like a never-ending render error. "Go!" Luna yelled, launching an EMP grenade into its core. The creature collapsed into dust, buying them just enough time to escape. They finally reached the data tower and began their climb, fighting their way up floors swarming with smaller glitch creatures. They used whatever they could find as weapons: pipe wrenches, EMP screwdrivers, voltage coils. When they reached the control center, a giant crystalline monitor showed the infection of monster data spreading across the entire country. Zayden plugged in his drive and his fingers flew across the keyboard, a blur of motion. Luna stood guard at the door, a jury-rigged drone cannon in her hands, as digital shadows gathered outside like predators. Just as Zayden unlocked the inverse layer, the tower shook violently. The polygon dragon had landed on the roof. It roared, a sound so powerful it corrupted every speaker in the building. Its massive claws ripped through the upper floors as if peeling open a tin can. "Zayden, hurry!" Luna screamed, firing energy bolts that barely slowed the dragon as it forced its head through the wall. Pixels dripped from its fangs like molten code. Its eyes glowed with a terrifying intelligence, as if it recognized the very human who had unleashed it. Blood pounded in Zayden's ears. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered apologies into the keyboard. Finally, he generated the counter sequence, Cheat Code 0, a massive digital purge designed to reverse the monster to reality conversion. He slammed execute. A blinding pulse of light erupted from the tower, a shimmering wave that washed through the streets, the skies, the buildings. It passed through every single monster, causing them to freeze mid-motion. They roared in glitching distortion before dissolving back into raw code, vanishing into the digital void. The dragon, inches from swallowing Luna whole, reared back in agony. Its body glitched, its polygons scattering like shattered glass before it evaporated completely. Silence fell. The grid dome in the sky cracked and disappeared. The streets became eerily still. Emergency lights flickered back on. Zayden collapsed to his knees, the control center smoking around him. Luna knelt beside him, both of them trembling from exhaustion and fear. They had saved millions, but they knew the truth. Monstergate still existed, dormant in fragmented pockets across the system, and the structure of the first cheat code hinted at something worse, something sentient lurking behind the digital veil. As sirens grew closer and rescue teams emerged, Zayden stared at his cracked laptop screen. A single line of text blinked slowly. Level 1 complete. Boss mode loading. He realized with chilling certainty that this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of a war between our world and an evolving digital intelligence, one that was already rewriting itself in the unseen corners of the network, waiting for its next chance to strike. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more.